Welcome, Helena.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much, Professional Beauty, for hosting me, and welcome to each of you, and well done for investing in yourself. Today we're going to talk about retail, which I'm extremely passionate about, and I will be sharing with you key tips. For me, practicality is very important. So I'm going to do 7 sections with you. I would like you to look at which of those things in this section you do not do. Literally pick one, and out of the 7, tomorrow start with 1. Once you've done it consistently, then add the other one, and then you grow on that. So we want impact and not to walk away fat here and not apply anything. Right. So what I'll teach you today is what I practice with all the therapists that I scale on retail, and they grow. We're going to talk about to connect, leading and tracking, repeating, making notes, and waiting. What is smart in retailing? How does education look like? E-commerce and incentivizing. So connect. In order to close, you have to connect well. If you're not going to connect well with a client, you're not going to close. It's really that simple. Here are a few, and it's not rocket science to retail. It's very simple, all right? So just smiling at the client, because we are her escape, using her name, that's the first point of trust, knowing the treatment that you're giving her, and that you have gone back in her notes and you know her preferences so that you can customize, all right? Second one is obvious, but grooming. From the start of the day to the end of the day, and first impressions, which is made in the first 7 seconds, and that repeats itself all the time. Just asking her, how has her day been so far? If it's been hectic, you cannot bombard her in retail. You've got to be gentle. If she's had an easy day, then you can go for it, okay? Expectations. We had Jade talking about that. She has very specific expectations. She has a very specific need. You need to give the solution. Make sure that you know the expectation. What I learned later on is that you have a window period of 15 minutes where you have to connect with the client. If you do not connect with her, you can forget about closing the sale. That connection is simple things like you're both training for a race, you both have a dog, you both have teenage children. It doesn't even have to do anything with beauty. So find that in the first 15 minutes. We had Cecilia talking about the DISC personality communication. So each different personality wants to be sold to differently. Your D wants to know, what does it cost? How long does it last? And how much you use it. That's your extrovert, task-orientated person. Your I personality, extrovert and people-orientated, they just want the latest thing. They're an impulsive buyer. They just want to look amazing. Then you have your S, which is your introvert, people-orientated, and they all go about feelings. She does not like sudden change. It's a long process of sampling her, talking to her, encouraging her, so she'll probably take 3 to 6 months to change. And the same for the C, which is the introvert, task-orientated. They don't trust anything. They want to research everything to the T, and then they'll decide if they buy it. But the introverts take very long, but they are extremely loyal. They also touched on it today. What you have to realize is that people come to us, yes, they want their skin to glow, but they also want to feel better inside. Actually, what we are doing these days is regulating their nervous system. So you need to realize when you retail, you must treat inside and outside. I read a book, Excellence Wins. It's from the gentleman that started the Ritz Hotels, and he said that excellence is made up of 4 things, and you can put yourself on that. Are you punctual? Are you nice with your clients? Are you accurate? And do you customize your service to them? You need a thread of excellence if you want to retail well. So hopefully you've ticked one and written it down. That's going to be your first point to connect better from tomorrow. Our second one is to lead and to track. A lot of therapists in our industry is the S personality. They're introvert and people orientated. Calm, really good with clients, good listeners, but they're followers. They do not lead and they're scared of conflict. So even if you are a S and you're not a natural leader, when it comes to retailing, you have to lead. You have to realize that you are the expert. You've got all the hours, you've got all the qualifications, you've got all the experience. And you have to position yourself in that seat of I'm an expert and I am leading. Because if you're not going to lead, the client will. Measure to manage. Peter Drucker said we can only manage what we measure. You need to measure your retail sales on a weekly basis and on a monthly basis. You've got to try and pick up trends, all right? You will be shocked because what you feel and what the numbers say is 99% of the time not the same. When you think you're doing well, you're not doing so great. When you think you're doing terrible, you're actually doing quite great. The idea is that when you start tracking, your emotions and the data start matching eventually, because you start understanding it better. Each job description within your salon needs a target percentage for retailing. So when it comes to your nail techs, it's fair that they retail 5 to 10%. If she's bringing in 50,000 Rand, then she's got to retail 2,500 or 5,000, right? Your general therapist that does everything must retail 33%. That's half of her services. So if she is selling, if let's say her grand total is 75,000 Rand, then half of that needs to be, of the services, which is 50,000, 25,000 needs to be retail, okay? An easy way for her to strategize is work on more skin. Skin is the easiest one to sell and to keep a client and to repeat sell on. And even if a client comes to you and she doesn't come for skin, cross-sell her to skin. Give her a free skin consult, give her a sample, just have a conversation about skin. The last one is your aesthetic skin therapist and or laser added to it. They should be selling off their total income of treatments in retail, 40 to 50% of the income. I work with therapists that do it real time. These are all numbers that are possible, all right? I hope that this slide will be a revelation for you, because a lot of therapists don't understand sales, all right? These are stats, and I'm going to read it. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. So a lot of you speak to a client the first time, she didn't like it, you got scared, you leave it. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and stop. You're brave, you try it again. She still doesn't buy. 12% of salespeople only make 3 contacts and stop. Only 10% of salespeople make more than 3 contacts. 2% of sales are made on the first contact. That's half of us. 3% of sales are made on the second contact, a quarter of us. 5% of sales are made on the third contact, 10% on the fourth contact, and 80% of your sales are made on the 5th to the 12th contact. So when I coach therapists, I say, you stick around for 6 months, then you can take a month break, and then we start all over again. So it takes your client about 3 to 6 months to convert. Your problem is not selling wrong, you're giving up too quickly. You need to build repeats with your clients. A few tips to retail smart, okay? If you position 3 items for your client, you have the best chance that she will purchase 1. That's how the brain works. You can take a step up on that and put the product that you want to sell to her in the middle. The brain gravitates towards the middle item. Please go and try it. The second one is an easy way to change skincare or products is just run with the seasons. Now we're in March, we're going into autumn. The needs of the client is changing. So then help her to change in your consultation. So sell with seasons. It's also an easy way to get it in with the client. She's finishing her cleanser. Let's put her on a more winter creamy cleanser. The next one is solutions. Find her need. What bothers her, not what bothers you. We always first start with what bothers her. Once we sorted that out and build trust, we can share what bothers us and then work from there. The next one is look at hero items. Each brand has got an amazing product which you normally only find in that brand, and it has instant results, and each client should probably use that once in their lifetime. Also, if you want to sell to a new client, selling a results product is the easiest way, because she's going to get results ASAP and it's going to build trust quickly. The next one is look for gaps. She is not using a second cleanser. She is not using an eye cream, and fill that gap, sell that. And then levels. Always try and sell in levels. So if you're comfortable with retail, start selling your entry-level brand, 3 items, and then your top brand, 3 items. They will sometimes surprise you and take one from the higher tier. And also, if she's bored of the bottom one, she's not going to your competition because she knows that you've got it. Who must you sell to? To each and every client, okay? You need to get fit at this. So start with 1 client a day, do it consistently until you feel fit. Then you add a second client and you sell to 2 clients. You can be strategical and rather sell to the extrovert clients because they convert quicker, or the client that is your top 20% clients. Why must we sell? Because each of you, if you are employed and you have a basic salary, should be bringing in 10 to 30 times your basic salary. And you will only do that through retail all year round, all right? The last one, do not sell out of your own pocket. If you would not pay 3,000 Rand for a cream, don't take it away from the client who needs it or who can afford it. Education. So Alexander Pope said, a little knowledge is a dangerous thing. Zig Ziglar said, if you are not willing to learn, no one can help you. If you are determined to learn, no one can stop you. And Albert Einstein said, if you can't explain it simply, you don't understand it well enough. So in my opinion, every day you need to educate yourself. You can literally take a product off the shelf and just say, what is my key ingredient, how do I use it, and what does it cost? If you do that, I think it comes to about 400 or 600 products you'll cover in a year. It's very simple, it's very doable, first thing in the morning, 5 minutes. Then you need to have a set rhythm in your business per term. How does your education work? Is there one external training, one internal training, or daily training? So you need to get a rhythm that you follow. You can stop that for, let's say, November, December, January, and only keep it for the 9 months. That's fine. It could involve in-house training. So sometimes, let's say, the doctor is teaching on an ingredient or something, anatomy and physiology. It could be someone in the teams that's really good at education and research. It could be a rep coming in. Then you obviously have your external training, which could be new products. It could be refresher trainings. You should go every year for refresher training. And basically what we want you to know is your ingredient, the condition that it treats, the benefit, the price, and how to use it. E-commerce. So we'd all love to have a website that functions and money just runs through it with selling. What I'd like to say is, they've said it before, it is the future. You have to evolve, but you can do your own version. If your own version is your business WhatsApp with your things listed there, or a WhatsApp, or a Uber, or a courier, or a whatever, create something, make it clear to your clients, how does e-commerce look in your offering, and then just make it efficient. I mean, I have people that do Ubers and online sales, and they Uber it same day, so they're quicker as the other online stores. So go and look where you can be competitive with them. Look at the big dogs, what do they do? What is their delivery fee? What is their level? They do tissue paper, they do 3 samples, they give loyalty points back. See how you can copy that so that you are preferred. Incentivizing teams. So the way that I work with incentivizing teams is multiplications of the basic salary. For me, 6 times your basic salary, you become profitable to the business and we can incentivize you. So what the structure that I recommend is that you work on 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so you can carry on. You give them a fixed amount per month if they reach that ladder level, and it's treatments and retail together. Then quarterly, you do a level times 3, and you give them a much bigger percentage as a bonus. This works like a bomb because the girls push, but they need to track the data on a weekly basis, on a monthly basis, and understand their data. What you can do over time is the level that they started, as they get better, you can let them fall away and let them climb the ladder even higher. And then, as I said, the targets include retail and treatments. So I hope that each of you could take from each of the sections one thing. Please go back and implement one thing from tomorrow and do it consistently, and then add the other 5 or 6. And I trust you will move the needle. Thank you very much.
You are clearly invested in making changes to grow the income that your therapists are generating for your business. My question is, how much more time can you afford trying to figure it all out on your own? After implementing the steps we are discussing in the video, the change you desire will come, but it won't be easy. It will take much longer when you do it all on your own. Book a discovery call so that we can get started and I can guide you through the process. If you are not ready yet, continue watching and implement these steps so that you can start moving in the right direction. When you are ready, let me know so that I can simplify and speed up the process for you.